Good afternoon everybody, wee Paddy from across the shop, and you're very welcome back to the channel. Open tag day today, and I'm doing one for Tobias over at Knife Chats with Tobias. It'll be in the main headlines there, the main description there. Please go over and follow Tobias if you don't. He's just got a fantastic channel and just a wide array of knives, probably the most wide array of knives on YouTube. Anyhow, his open tag was knives, your favourite knives that you bought in 2023. Now, I'm going to get this clear. I had done one in the first 3 months a year. I was just about to do one in the last 3 months, but I thought, why not do this tag? It's a bit of a longer video, but I like doing them anyway. And it shows off a lot of knives. And if everybody does a good video with lots of knives, we get to see lots of knives. But what I've done is picked a selection of knives. I've had a good year so far. A selection of knives that I've got this year that I just adore. They're lovely knives. And I have very few knives that stay in my collection that I don't adore, or that I try to bring in. I don't bring that many knives in that I go, I don't like that. But there is some of the companies would send me some and I don't particularly like them. I'll let you know. But I'm not a rundown channel. That's not me. It's just, I like a nice cheerful video. And the knives that I buy for myself, I like. Do you know what I mean? I like. And that's why I don't do so many knives from other companies. I have a couple of companies that I work with. And that's enough for me. I don't need to do it anymore. I've done that all in the beginning. Cut it right back. So there's where I stand. So without further ado, as he just had an ado, this is a bayonet that I seen on Etsy. And it's just a bayonet, or is it? This is a bayonet that I would have used when I was in the service. I was in the Navy for 12 years. This is the bayonet I would have used for guard duties and things like that. And I would have affixed at ceremonials. If I was doing guard, ceremonial guard, I would have had this affixed to my blade. So I seen it and I thought, oh, that's, you know, it reminded me of something. I'd forgotten what it looked like, but it's that long since I was in the Navy. But when I'd done further inspection, it was made in 1959. Which is my birth year. And it's actually on the blade, 1959. And I'm going to have to find it because this thing is so hard to find things. Where is it? You think I'd have sorted this out, wouldn't you? Where is it? Anyway, take my word for it. If you go and watch the video, it's definitely 1959. There's numbers all over these, the XMOD things. But anyway, it was made in 1959. And it was affixed to your SLR rifle, which was the rifle when I was in the services. So I just had to have it because it was 1959. They actually first started making these ones, or they went into service in 1958. And they were made right up until 1986, I believe. And then they changed over to that silly wee half rifle, which I don't particularly like the look of. I don't know what it really likes to shoot, but I haven't heard anything marvellous about it. Anyhow, this is one of my favourites, and it has set off something in my head which is not great because I have now ordered another. Oh, sugar! Gosh, that's hard to get in. Go! Did you hear that? Anyhow, that's that one. We'll put that up there. The bayonet from my birth year. Now, let's follow on. Oh yes, I was starting to waffle there, wasn't I? I've actually ordered another one, which I was hoping might have been here. I might have got it for today, but I'm not going to get it now until probably the middle of this week, which is absolutely fine. And it's a cracker. But I'll show you that and do a review of that. There's a review of this up on my channel. And there's a review of most of these. There's a couple of the newer ones. And I've actually got two unboxings at the end of this that I thought I really wanted you to see. I haven't done the videos yet for them. And I haven't had them on the channel. So you're going to get first looks. Right, let's just get started. Here's the most recent one I've got. Tiny little knife. Double detent. Paddy, you don't like double detents? No, I don't particularly like double detent. They're not my favourite knife. But Twisted Assisted just bought this little boy out. And Twisted Assisted is a company over here in the UK. And it uses companies like Best Tech and other companies around the world to make knives that are UK legal from their batch that they're already making. This particular model is just solely for Twisted Assisted. You can't buy these anywhere else. So if you want them, Twisted Assisted. This is a double detent. It has a little pocket clip on it. And the reason I think this is good, this is a knife that you're going to put in your shorts or something. I've done the review, so you can go back and see it. But the wee clip just clips in your shorts and keeps it secure if you're going in for a swim. Not that this, I would recommend it with this. It's the, no, it's 14C28N. No, that's not bad. It flicks out wonderfully. Absolutely wonderfully. And look at that blade. Now, there's a box cutter, a rope cutter, you know, bits of string cutter. It is just, I have fallen for this so quickly. It only came in last week, and I really have fallen for it. And it's like a delicate, you can get all four fingers. The fourth finger goes in the back there. Such a secure grip because it's such a small blade. But even holding it this way, and you can hold the hole in the blade there, absolutely fantastic for all your box cutting. You can get right to the end for your detailed work, but just a super little, small, secondary or third rate EDC knife. It is fantastic. So I really like that. I'm enjoying that so far at the minute. Let me see, what else have I got? Right, okay, here we go. Rough Riders. I'd sold a lot of my Rough Riders or gave them away that had the big R's in the bolster. You know I hated them. There's a couple I still haven't been replaced yet, but I'll get there eventually. But I got this one with no big R's, and I got this from my favourite new Etsy, it's SAC UK shop, SAC UK all in capitals, SAC UK shop on Etsy over here. They're starting to sell more knives over here on Etsy, which is fantastic. Bit pricey sometimes, but at least you're getting them. This is an older Rough Rider. And this is the doctor's knife, the long, slim doctor's knife. This is brand new in box it came. I don't even know whether I got the box, but that wouldn't matter to me anyway, because I throw them out. They're too big and cumbersome. So it's just a lovely example of a doctor's knife in a fake abalone. But it is done incredibly well. There's plenty of movement in it. Not as good as the real abalone, I know, but it's a lovely example. It's made perfectly. I have to say, not the best centering in the world, but, well, do you know something? I'm saying that, and I'm being disrespectful to it, because that is absolutely fine for me. Absolutely fine. So there's that. And another Rough Rider that I got, which is one I've been looking forward for ages, and that's where I found this sack shop. Not only do they do a lot of sacks, they do all sorts of American imports. Again, this is a Rough Rider, and it's in the checkered bone, which I always wanted to have, but I'd never seen over here. And it's too expensive to get them delivered from America, for me anyway. So, this is a lovely gunstock pattern. Lovely pull on that. This is the Rifleman series, and I got it with a box, everything with it. Absolutely beautiful at a reasonable price. And there you go. It's a Countryman's Weekly magazine that has this made, or has a Rough Rider made. I don't know how many years it went on for. I don't think they do it now, but really lovely blades on it. I just love this knife. Fit and finish, absolutely fantastic. Really is just a lovely example of Rough Riders done well, which they continue to do. And they're two older models as well, so, you know, just great knives. I love them there. Let's get these turned around and we'll get them across the top of me. The next one is another part of my, and I've tried to pick these in different genres of my collection. I love collecting older knives. Old American, old British, old German, wherever they're from, I love older knives. And I managed to get this year, which is an old Boker Tree brand. And I just love a Barlow, and this is a Barlow I can really get into. Lovely bit. This is a number 493 model. And I'm sure somewhere that would give me an age to it. But it is a lovely double-bladed Barlow. I just adore it. It's been used and loved, but it's still got an awful lot of blade left. I love these Delrin saw cut handles. Just gorgeous. So that's a beautiful knife in the collection, and one I'm really proud to have in my collection. The little blade doesn't have much snap, but the main blade is absolutely fantastic. So let's go on to the next one. Another older brand that you don't see much of over here in the UK. I managed to get this Russell Barlow in this gorgeous, really ruby type red bone. It is stunning. The fit and finish is immaculate on it. Absolutely immaculate. And again, another Barlow, but this with a spear point, and it has the Russell Green River Works on the blade. So you can see that. Russell Green River Works on the blade. I adore it. And again, a small pen blade. Snap on it is absolutely fantastic. Really pleased to have that in the collection. So that's another great one. And this is another one, sort of heading back to my Navy sort of times again. I managed to get this one this year on the secondary market. And this is just an Arthur Wright Barlow. Or not a Barlow, an Arthur Wright spear point. Just a jackknife. And this is lovely. It's like a spear or a pen shaped blade, and I love the shape of that. But it's the wood covers on this. They come off the HMS Britannia that the Queen had, the Queen's yacht, which is now a museum up in Scotland. But look at these beautiful scales, and these were teak that were used on the deck of the Britannia. Now, these ones weren't actually on the deck. These were spare ones that were in the shipyard when it closed down. And this fella who does this, he used to do it an awful lot. He doesn't do it now. But he used to get different woods and that from around the world and put them on basic Arthur Wright Barlows, which are a great choice of a knife anyway. But just to have that, being an ex-sailor, is just a little gem. And I have the certificate of authenticity and all on it. So really chuffed to get that this year. And another knife that I haven't just had recently, but is already, it's my favourite blade of the year so far. It really is just, budget. Now I'm saying budget, it's getting up to the top end of budget, but it is an absolutely stunning knife. This is the Rosecraft blades, and I've forgotten what the bloody name of it is. Anyway. If you go back in the channel, you'll find that out. Oh gosh, I've got the boxes up behind me. Doesn't really matter. This is Rosecraft blades. It's one of the 2 Barlows that I got. They sent me to review. And this one, the other one is absolutely brilliant. And it's a plain orange bone. It's like a persimmon orange bone. But this one has the best jigging I've ever seen. I still believe that they are deer tracks. I don't care what people say. They are deer tracks. They're little deer hooves all over it. But I just adore this. This is a Barlow to me. They call it a jackknife. It's something river jack anyway. But it is just, to me, this is a Barlow. I call the Barlow. It's too big. I mean, if you, over here in the UK, a small, just a jackknife would have this kind of a why do I have so many brain farts during a blooming review? I don't know. This is a normal jackknife, and this would be the size of a Barlow over here in the UK if you were, it was a UK knife. But to me, I'm quite happy calling this a Barlow. But they call it a jackknife, and they're quite right to be wrong. You're allowed to do that when you make the knife anyway. But this is knife of the year so far. And I mean of any of the knives that I've got this year. This is my budget knife of the year so far. Because they have got some other ones out, and I'm hoping to get some of them and to do it. So next, I've been working on my case this year, my case collection. This is one of the odd ones that I got this year. Super little iteration. This is such a wacky opening system. Look at that. The Pterodactyl without wings. You stick a couple of pair of wings on there, and that is a prehistoric Pterodactyl. What a gorgeous little knife from Case. And it's a one-hand opener. It's a lock-in knife. Super, really super. Really enjoying that now, and I'm so glad I've got one of these in my collection. The bone on this is just delicious. It really is gorgeous bone. So there we have with that one. The next one is one that I was given as a present, and it makes it really special because it was my friend Justin got Ashley Harrison to make this custom for me. And this has it's just a beast of a knife, of a working knife. I nearly broke my nail yesterday opening it. This one is a 9.5, and I don't say that lightly. It is a 9.5. If your nails are at all weak, you'll break them. You need to use a little nail neck opener for this. This is but I enjoy it because if I get this out and I want to do some work, I feel so secure using this. I don't even need to go up in that castle. I feel so secure with this knife. I'm used to handling slip joints, but this is in bog oak. It didn't come in bog oak. It came in a blue bone that I just didn't get on with. It was jigged and I just didn't get on with it whatsoever. So I asked Justin, and I know it's a terrible thing to do when somebody gives you a gift, but I wasn't carrying it because I didn't bond with it. It's like I'm talking about a child, but in some instances, that's exactly what these are. And so I asked him, could I get it rehandled? So I gave Ashley a ring. He was very kind. He took it over and charged me buttons to rehandle it. And he put in bog oak. And it is some of the nicest bog oak. It's not just black. It's got the grey striations through it. You can see there. It's still a dark knife, but oh, in hand, this is an amazing work knife. I adore it. So thank you, Justin. Thank you, Ashley, for doing the rehandle. There's a half stop, thank God, because I think I would cut my fingers off. But again, listen to that. It would. It's just gorgeous. I don't want to change it. I sent it back to Ashley, and I could have got him the less in the spring, but I didn't want it. This is it. This is the just work knife. It's so nice. I don't use it very much. Now, again, I brought one back into my collection this year that had gone from my collection, and that is the GEC number 71. I had traded this for something else whenever I needed the money. My GECs have been traded in and out, I don't know, many times, but I had to have this back again. It is just a perfect work knife. You don't have to, it's micarta handles, there's no silver bolsters, you can throw it in your pocket. I still throw it in a slip, to be honest, most of the time, and pull it out. I actually now have it in the back of my hip slip that goes on my belt. That's a cracking slip here. And this just goes into it like that. And it sits on the back part of my hip on my belt, and it's just easy just to pull out and put back in again. If I'm going to be in and out with it, I don't want to be shoving it in pockets. If I'm working down on my knees or something, it's so handy to have this in the back of my belt that I can just constantly put it away and then bring it out to use with ease. So, highly recommend that way I carry. I'm falling for it, but you know, I've got a couple of knives now that I carry solely that way. In fact, I've got one on my back. The one that I've been using most this year, this is the little Bayer. Again, I've showed this that many times I didn't want to show it, but it's probably one of my favourite new knives this year. But it just goes in my back. I've got a little small slip that it slips into, sits in my back pocket. I just find it so useful. Now, we're getting near the end. Don't worry, it's not going to be that long. Well, it is. It's 17 minutes already. This is, I get all of them, and I get these for free. This is my Jackult knives, but this one is in the rosewood. The first time we've had a natural material, and I am a just convert. It's just made the knife so much special. This has the most beautiful sway back, and look at that Wharncliffe. It is just stunning. A hand rub satin blade. It's got just everything about it. The triple bolsters, this lovely rosewood, and the figuration in this is just lovely. Really beautiful, and definitely one of my favourite Jackult knives so far in the whole list, because it has that lovely warm feeling of a natural material, which is my want. There you go. One more that it would have been silly of me not to bring it out, because it wouldn't have been honest. It's just my favourite knife full time, just as a piece of art, and that's what it's judged on by me, as a piece of art. And that is the Hermann knives Sting. This is the micro Sting. This is just beyond anything. You can see the milling on that. It's right the way down the whole blade, on the clip. It is everywhere on it. The milling on the front. And these little lovely shiny little buttons here is the screws that go right through. They're underneath here, and they come out this side. And then they're domed and polished, which is just beyond anything anybody else. Damascus, look at that there. Isn't that just beautiful? I'm trying to get the light on it. The light's not that great here today for some reason. But it's beautiful. But the star of the show is, one, the action is stunning. Two, that blade is beyond Domasteel. This is just stunning Domasteel. And it's slightly different on the back, but look how beautifully that is done. That is just amazing. And this is a powdered steel. So this knife can work. Will I work it hard? Absolutely not. It's about £1,300 worth. It is my show knife forever. I absolutely adore it. And if you've got that sort of money, you cannot go wrong. This action is just beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Drops to your hand, drops to the end, a couple of little jiggles. Listen to that. Oh, Everything about this knife is one, faultless, but two, absolutely beautiful. That's my art piece. So there you go. That's the knives that I've got. The two that you haven't seen, I'm going to give you a quick glimpse, but we're not going to go into it because you're going to get, there's going to be not an unboxing, it'll be a first look reviews on the channel, but I just wanted to get these in here for this video because these are two beautiful knives that I've added to my collection. These are my own, so these are not given to me, these are bought and traded for. These two knives. This is just a lovely slip, by the way. This is the Viper, which is Italian. And this is a slip joint with one of, listen to that opening up. Look at that gold fleck carbon fibre, or fat carbon fibre, I think it actually is. It is just stunning. Stunning. And there we have that blade. And it's the twin from Viper. It has got the most gorgeous blade. It looks an awful lot bigger than what it is. I mean, that was my first impressions when I've seen it. But let me just show you the size of the blade. The full blade is under 3 inches, so it's completely UK legal. But doesn't that look like a full knife? Well, because it is. I mean, the cutting edge on this is, let me just see. The cutting edge is, again, just under 3 inches. Just like 2 3/4, and then the hole is 2 7/8. But it's the depth of it, and this beautiful. Now these like the Italians do. These are all rounded over. The back spring, this part of the blade is all rounded over, but there's a ramp there when you want to say get a wee bit forward. It's a great sturdy back spring on it, so it's sitting there and it's just beautiful. I haven't used it yet to do anything, so before I do my wee initial impression, I'll probably have a couple of goes with cardboard and that just to see what it's like. But beautiful. Not sure about why they had to go and put a lanyard hole in that. That knife didn't really warrant it, in my opinion. But I'm going to put a little lanyard in. I'll put a leather loop in that there, just so that, you know, even if I want to carry it in my back pocket, I've got a lanyard. Why am I doing that? So you've that to come. I'm not going to talk too much about it. I really do like it, though, I have to say. But I went a bit barmy this month and I got my second hinderer. Now, to get my second hinderer, it cost me my Chris Reeve knives, and that's the joy of my collecting. I don't have the money when I want to get, you know, I've built my collection up over years, and when I want to get something new in the high range, something old in the high range has to go. Now, I haven't had the Chris Reeves that long. It's a fantastic, nothing wrong with it, not saying anything against Chris Reeve, but you know I have my one hinderer, which is the one that I named my father's knife. Well, I wanted its big brother. I've always wanted its big brother. And I got the opportunity to do a trade with it, with my Chris Reeve, to get this. And I couldn't be happier. Genuinely. I love it. Comes in the usual box with this it. And this is what I've got. And it's got lovely red scales that were on it. He offered the choice of this or the black, or blue, sorry, they would have come in originally, but I went for, my other one's in blue, so I went for the red. Oh, what a lovely decision. Look at this knife. This is a beef, really is a beefcake. Well, and I love these clips for some, they're so retentive in your pocket. This one's actually a bit tight. I'm hoping it's going to wear in because I don't think this bloke had used it much at all. I know he carried it, but just listen to that. If that's not sexy, I don't know what is. And look, you would think this is in bearings, wouldn't you? It's not. This is in plastic washers. That's it. It's just plastic, and it is just amazing. The best way I've opened it for me is the finger flick at the back. It's just, the detent is amazing. Once you break it, it ain't stopping until it gets to the end of its travel. It is beautiful. I got the slicer, the same as my smaller 3-inch version. This is a 3.5 XM18. It's just everything I thought it would be. And that's unusual. You don't often order something. Well, I have to say my 3-inch one was exactly what I thought. This is just a beastie. This will do absolutely anything. I can get a full 4-fingered muscle grip down there, but I have this whole big forward choil that is perfection. I have no chance of going on the blade. It's just perfect for finer tasks. I adore it, but some of the things, the closing of a knife can be just so good, right? Oh, I wanted to do this. I wanted to show you this. I have never had a knife that could do this. Now I'm going to shut up and I'm just going to let you watch this knife blade, okay? Now, watch it. Oh, I sat and done that for about 3 hours last night. I am such a sad knife collector that I've never seen a knife that could do that. So controlled right to the end, and then it's just sucked in. And this knife, that sounded shallow of a suck in, which I thought when I first heard it. I cannot throw this knife out, and I can give a good shake. That's one of the few knives that I can't get to come out. And yet you would have thought with that little soft suck, but it is a suck. It keeps it in. But what a gorgeous knife. I'm so happy to have this in my collection. You will see the review of this. Well, you don't see the review, but you'll see the initial unboxing of this very shortly. So that's my favourite, some of my favourite knives for 2023. Tobias, great tag. Great. I want as many people as possible to do that, because look at the amount of knives you can get on the table. And it's only taken 26 minutes. Watch half the video 1:15 and then the other half. That's the way you do it. I just watch them all at once. But there we go. Take care, Tobias. Thank you so much, mate. I really enjoyed yours. I hope this gives you something to watch. Not particularly all your style, but they're knives. Take care. Bye-bye now.